This is all about collisions. Welcome to another episode, webisode, video, upload, whatever we call it these days, where we talk about collision detection. Collision detection is handled in Unity rather well. There's a couple of caveats with it that I want to talk about just now, but essentially what we're going to do is we're going to have a tank and we're going to have a bullet, and the bullet is going to fly across the air, hit the tank, and then an event inside the tank is going to fire, which is called onCollisionEnter, and it takes one parameter, and that parameter is the collision information, and the collision information it's going to contain is the bullet that just smacked into it. So you get a tank here, you have a bullet here, and then at this point in time we are going to capture that information. There is a couple of caveats. If you're not familiar with the Unity documentation, please read it. That's a terrible thing to say. Please use it. Don't read it, because it's a very boring read. It's sometimes not the best written documentation in the world. But I'll give you an example. Here is the onCollisionEnter documentation here. So everyone reads this bit, and everyone looks at this bit and then goes, okay, cool, I've got it, everything's fine. This thing here though is you need to take careful note of. Collisions only work if at least one of the things you're colliding with has a rigid body, and it has to be non-kinematic. Now what that means, if I go to over here, is you will see that it says is kinematic and it's unchecked, so that's good. And it also has a collider in there, which is also good because we need colliders no matter what you're doing. But it also has a rigid body. Now luckily all of our objects in our game, the tanks and the bullets, they all have rigid bodies associated with them, so we don't need to worry too much about that. So yeah, that's what we're going to be talking about today, is collision detection inside Unity. And of course that all starts after the fade. Alright, first thing we want to do is we want to make a duplicate of our tank. Now our tank is going to be represented by, our tank is controlled by two players, so one on the left hand side of the keyboard and one on the right hand side of the keyboard. So we're going to duplicate that just by selecting that and then pressing Ctrl D to duplicate. Or you can go up to edit and then duplicate down there, and then that will create a copy of your tank for you. And I'm going to call this right hand player, and this one will get called left hand player. Okay, so our left hand player and our right hand player, those are good enough names for them, but I'm going to go one step further and I'm going to create a tag here. So I click on add tag and I will add a new tag, and I will call this one left hand player, and I will create another one called right hand player. And we're going to use these tags to identify what bullet hit what player. Okay, so we go back to our left hand player here and we choose left hand player from our tag, so we created that tag just there. And then we go back to our right hand player and we do the same thing here, but this time we're going to use our right hand player tag. So you notice that we have two tanks that occupy the same point in space. So we're going to just drag out the right handed one, and we're going to move them a little bit further out, over to here, and we might as well give him a little bit of a rotation as well, so he looks like he's facing us there. Okay, so now when we play the game, oh yeah, because he's going to be facing that direction there. That was rather stupid. Anyway, what's the controls for this again? I can't remember the controls. Oh yeah, I need to set up the controls for this. Oh. Ugh. What an idiot. Okay, so right hand player, inside here I have move tank script. So I have player 1 rotate and player 1 forward. So if I change that to player 2 rotate and change this to player 2 forward for the second tank, and then change player 1 fire to player 2 fire, that should be me all set up. If you don't know where the scripts come from, check out the first couple of videos, and it goes into greater detail there for that. So now I should be able to, you see that now this tank rotates here, and I should be able to fire my weapon here. And similarly over here, I should be able to fire that. So you can see that the two tanks are now firing independently of each other once I'm pressing the keys there. Okay, we're going to forget about these stray bullets just now. This video is only going to cover the collision between the tanks. Okay. Alright, so let's get into some scripting. Okay, so this is our move tank script. If you haven't got the move tank script on screen, just go back to here and either double click move tank, and that will take us to here, or you can actually go to Solution Explorer. So if I go to View Solution Explorer, you'll see that we can move between the two there. And of course you can actually use a shortcut key. You can actually do Control comma and then type in move tank.cs, and then that takes you to the file anyway. Okay. Right, so we have our rotation there, and we have our speed, and we have our fixed update. What we don't have is we don't have any lives on here. So every tank we're going to give you 3 lives, and once you get to the 3rd life then you are out. We're also going to disable the tank as well for a small amount of time once you've been hit, to give the other person a chance to run away. Maybe we'll leave that just now, but then we'll get the collision done just this video anyway. Okay, so we want to handle lives here, so I'm going to create another header, player stats, and I'm going to change that to 3. Okay, so that's the player lives there has been changed to 3, and then I am going to add, we have a fixed update and we have an update here. I'm going to add a on collision enter, okay. I think that's all I want to do for this script just now, because do I have another one here? No, I don't. Okay, so my bullet doesn't have anything attached to it, but I think I can change tags on it as well. So okay, okay, I think I want to create another tag in here and call this one just bullet. Go back to my bullet and change that tag to bullet. Okay. Okay. And go back to our code here. So this is our move tank script. We have our collision enter there. If we go back to our fire weapon, you see that we have this our if statement that says if the fire button was hit, then we do a whole bunch of stuff and then we cool down the weapon. So you can't just do like rapid fire. Inside this though, we want to do a couple of changes. So fire weapon is attached to a tank. So you see we have fire weapon down here. So the game object itself has a tag associated with it. So we're going to change the tag of the this game object to be the tank that we're firing from. So if I do bullet dot tag equals game object dot tag, and then what do I want to do here? I think I also want to give the bullet name as well. Name equals game object dot name. I think I want to give it the same name as the. Do I? I want to give it the same name plus. I'm going to add B at the end of it just to signify that it's a bullet. So when I see it in the object inspector, I don't go, what the heck is that? Why do I have so many tanks here? So this is going to be my bullet here. So I'm going to give it the tag, and I'm going to give it the object name there. Okay. So now in here, back in my move tank, this is where when the bullet strikes the tank, this will be the code that we run when that happens. So this collision here is going to be the bullet. Now you notice that on the bullet itself, I click back to the bullet here, we have a rigid body and we also have a box collider. So this is our collision object here, and you see that it perfectly matches. I'll zoom in on the object here. You see that it actually perfectly matches the outline of the bullet, so that's good. So if the tag c.gameObject.tag is not equal to the gameObject.tag, and gameObject.name ends with B, in other words it's a bullet. So the reason why I want to distinguish between bullets and tanks is I haven't quite decided what I want to do when a tank collides with another tank, which is a possibility in the game. So like I said, right now this video is only dealing with collisions between bullets and tanks, not anything else. So that's all that we're interested in now. So this just checks to see that if the collisions game object, in other words the bullet tag, is not the same as this tag, and its name ends in a B, that means we have a bullet. So we want to do something here. So what we want to do is we want to decrease lives. And as us decreasing lives, we use minus minus. So we can also use lives equals lives minus 1 if you want, but lives does a perfectly good job for that. And then I don't want to use console, I want to use debug. Lives left. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to output the debug information, which says it's the number of lives left, and when it hits 0 we're going to do some other logic, but we haven't written that yet. Again, we're only interested in collision for this video here. So running this, I should be able to line up, if I get the console in view here, and when I press fire, oh, missed him. Oh, I hit him, but nothing happened. Why did nothing happen? So the rigid bodies, they're not kinematic, and this is a rigid body, graphics, not kinematic. Okay, let's set our breakpoint. Okay, well, it's hitting. It's hitting itself, which is not good. Left-hand player, untagged. So, okay. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, set that there. Press fire. So left-hand player, left-hand player, left-hand player, right-hand player. And the game object name ends with right-hand player. Well, that is not any good. So it is hitting it, but the name's not getting set correctly. Bullet name. Is bullet name getting set? Yeah, left-hand player B. Oh, do you know why? Because I'm doing the wrong game object. I should be doing this game object here, because I want the, this is the on collision for the tank. So I want to examine what happens when something hits the tank, and in this case that something is the bullet. So I want to see if the bullet's name ends with B, and if it does, then I want to debug and show the lives left and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so now put the console here and I fire, boom, hit, 2 lives left. I feel like a skating rink this, so we'll obviously have to change some values here. Can I hit him again? Oh yeah, hit him again. Okay, so you notice that the bullet is still alive. Let's fix that. So now we know that the lives is being depleted. That's good. We can also do destroy, and then the thing we want to destroy is we want to destroy the game object of the bullets. We do C, which is the thing that's collided with us, and then it's the game object of that. So now you notice that down here, I don't know if you saw, but it says hit 0 lives left, -1 lives left, -2 lives left. That's because we were getting a double bounce, because the bullet was hitting off the back wall and then coming back and hitting the tank again. This destroy is going to prevent that. So if I rotate around a little bit and fire, you see that now we don't have any stray bullets left. Oh, missed him. Oh, he's on the roof. Let's bring him down a bit. Okay, that's him down. So these 2 bullets didn't hit anything, so they're still alive. And if I hit this one here, you see that that bullet's now disappeared. Oh, then the player has, is he going to fall off? Is he? He's off the world. So yeah, so that's bullet collisions. Alright guys, relatively short one there. That's collisions. So now we have the ability to fire a bullet. The bullet hits the tank, and then the bullet gets destroyed. And then the rest of it is just flavouring that we add to it. So we'll deal with particle systems and so forth next in a few videos time anyway. Once we got the basic mechanics, the gameplay all set up, then we'll get everything, all the sort of fancy things, we'll put that all together. So yeah, it's coming along together quite nicely. Hopefully you're all enjoying yourselves, you're all following along. Thank you so much again for taking the time to watch the videos. If you feel that you want some timely reminders, I send tweets out, so my Twitter is down there. If you want to get timely reminders through your your YouTube account, then you can hit the subscribe button, which I think is over on that side. And yeah, thank you very much. I know that everyone's time is important, so thank you for spending some time here. If you like the video, then give us a thumbs up. If you didn't like the video, thumbs down. And as usual, feel free to leave comments, good, bad, or indifferent, or whatever if you just want to ask me a question, then feel free to leave a comment below. So thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks.